going on, guys? KILLAMCKILLCAM here, bringing you another episode of Killzone Shadowfall Elite Campaign walkthrough. This is Chapter 3. I have to board the Cassandra and steer the ship towards the sun. And I have to find the doctor who is trying to defect. So let's have a listen.
This was found on the auxiliary drive of the ISA Cassandra. She's one of ours. Black site, R&D, biotech primarily. We try to make contact. Nothing. Crew are presumed dead.
What was the research?
It was supposed to give us leverage. Purely deterrent. God damn it, if the Hellgast exploited, it'd be unstoppable. It wouldn't be a war, a genocide. Part of the intel you retrieved was a series of outgoing transmissions from the Cassandra. We think it's Hellgast encryption. My gut tells me this is who sent them. Dr. Hilary Massar, project leader. Looks like she's trying to defect. Board the ship, restore power to the engines, and steer her into the sun. Make it look like an accident. There's an extraction team on standby to get you out. There's a reason why we took such care with her work, Lucas. People wouldn't understand. That's why I'm involving only you in this. Anything could be waiting for you on there. Watch your back.
Alright, so you can see Chapter 3, I have 3 out of 3 lives, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you a very easy way to beat this chapter without dying. You know, you have your enemy, which is set on hard, and you can die very quickly from a shotgun blast on this chapter, but there's other ways to die, and I'm going to show them to you later. First, I have to make my way through here. And if you're new to this, even if you've played this chapter before, the Cassandra is a very easy ship to get lost on. So in addition to hitting up on your D-pad and those little orange triangles showing you where to go, those can be confusing sometimes. There are little blue arrows above doors and on walls that will point you in the direction that you need to go. So look out for those when you're going through, because even watching this walkthrough and then playing it for yourself, you might have a hard time remembering what you watched on YouTube when you're playing it yourself. So it's been a while since I've played this particular chapter, so it may appear like I'm lost. I'm not lost, I'm just trying to remember exactly where to go. So the first orange indicator is going to tell you to go to this door here, but then it's going to say that it's blocked. So you're going to have to find another way. So you're going to come over here, turn right, and then look, wear a mask. And then you'll go through this door, and then you know you're going the right direction because you'll be going down this long curved corridor, and then you'll be following that little orange circle. So when you're doing the objective, there's 2 of them in the beginning here. There's the D and the E. You're going to want to set the course towards the sun first, and which is the E. You see the E next to the orange dot, and then up in the upper right corner there under objectives, current objectives. Do E first, so you'll come out of here and you'll want to go down, you know, and hitting up on the D-pad again will make those little orange circles. And then look here, you see those blue triangles showing me where to go? That's where you have to go. And you'll see those sometimes above doorways. You'll see them on walls pointing you down a particular corridor, and they were put there, I think, to make this hard chapter to navigate a little easier, if you know what you're looking for. See, again, above that door was 2 blue triangles. So here you're going to have only these 2 enemies in this room, and I usually let them pass. I try to flank them, I try to melee them, but this time I had to shoot them. They noticed me. And there's only the 2 enemies in this particular room, but all this gunfire has alerted the enemies downstairs. So there's like 4 of them, and the most important thing you're going to want to do is to make sure that you have like 2 adrenalines at all times, and that you have 2 assault rifles that are fully loaded and the clips are at capacity when confronting several enemies. That's what's going to help you stay alive. Now, when you get to this section here, you're going to want the guy on the right. You see I shot him. I thought I killed him, but I didn't. You're going to want to make sure that he's dead, because watch what happens here. He comes out with that shotgun and almost killed me. If he would have been able to get me one more time, I would have been dead. And I would have been alright, because I have 2 adrenaline packs. You can see on the bottom right, left of the grenades, that number 2 is my adrenaline. And you see that little white triangle in the center there? That's another adrenaline pack. So if you happen to have to use your adrenaline, make sure to hit the over right on the D-pad to highlight, and those little white triangles will show up, and those are adrenalines. Now I'm not going to pick it up because I have 2, it won't allow me to pick it up, but if you need to, make sure you find those and pick them up. Now you see this capacitor here? I'm going to take this capacitor with me, and you're going to see why in a minute. Come over here, hack the computer to get in the door. Make sure you pick up ammo every time you see those ammo boxes. Alright. So, I'm going to take this capacitor in this room with me, and I'm going to set it down. I'm going to turn left, and I'm going to set it right in front of this, in front of that thing there. The capacitor, whatever it's called. Or the reactor. That's the reactor. So basically, what you want to do is you want to make your way to the center and place a capacitor inside the reactor, the one that's furthest in to the center. And you're going to want to make sure that you're very careful walking across these platforms, and because you can fall to your death. And when you fall to your death, or if you get hit by one of these capacitors while they're spinning, your owl will not revive you. And it would be a wasted death, a stupid death, a silly death. You're going to be angry about it, and it might discourage you to quit, you know, because you're going to want to save the 3 lives that you do have for chapter 7 and 9. And you'll see why when you get to chapter 7 or 9, or when you see me play chapters 7 and 9. So it may appear like I'm lost, but I'm actually just trying to make sure and remember which ones to do first. So this is going to be the one that you're going to want to do first. It's right here. So you'll take that capacitor out of the ground, and what that's going to do is that's going to make that little blue bridge disappear. And once you cross that little blue bridge, or take the capacitor out, and that blue bridge disappears, you're going to you won't be able to cross that bridge again. You'll have to jump across, which is very risky, especially when these things are spinning. So this is the first one, not the other one. This one is first. You'll do this one first, and then you'll go across this bridge. I'm just looking around, and I'm just making sure that I'm doing them in the right order, and I did do them in the right order. So the next one's going to be this. You'll cross that bridge, then you'll take it out. Now that bridge is going to disappear. You won't be able to cross again. You'll have to jump across if you needed to get back across. Which again, you see how fast that thing's spinning? It will kill you. And if that doesn't kill you, there's a chance that you might miss your jump and fall to your death. So I'm again looking around, and I'm making sure you'll want to do that. The smallest one, which is in the middle, and then the second one. The next one you're going to want to do is this one. Now I'm looking for that capacitor that I dropped. I didn't drop it here, I dropped it in front of the other one. Alright, I realized that just now. I'm going to go over here. You see there's 2? There's 2 right here for the 2 capacitors that are left. And so you'll take that one and you'll go over here. Now what most people do is they'll go get that second capsule, and they'll try to jump across and have to make it all the way around. Well, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't. Just forget about that one. Do this. Run across the ledge, and when you get to the ladder, you have to jump over the ladder, or else it'll make you fall. And that's why, you see, I brought that capacitor in there, and I set it there for this reason. So now I set that last one in, and I can go right out the door. and that's why you do from the first one, the one closest to the center, and work your way from the inside out, and you bring that capacitor in there and you set it down, and that's why. So the very last one you set it, and then you can just get out of there without having to jump through and taking a risk of getting hit by one of them or falling to your death.
Reactor online.
Pulsar Shadow 1-8, reactor back online. Proceeding with the
I know
mission.
it sounds like I was babbling on and saying the same thing over and over again. I guess it's the kind of way I talk.
Yes,
so after
sir.
that's done, then what you're going to have is a small wave of enemies. And again, I tell people to fight these enemies at range, because even on the hardest level, these guys won't be able to hit you at range or kill you at range. They'll be able to shoot you at range, but they won't be able to kill you from range in most case scenarios. And what you'll notice a lot of times when you're far away from them is that they'll just stop and take cover. Most times when they try to attack you is when you're close to them. So you want to stay about mid-range. And another indicator that you're going in the right direction on this chapter is when you encounter new enemies that you haven't seen before. Because basically after you set all those reactors in motion and set the ship towards the sun, you're just going to come back the way you came. So if you're getting lost, remember to just hit the up on the D-pad, and when you're encountering these enemies, you know you're going in the right direction. The first time I played this chapter, I ran around for hours, and I died a bunch of times, and I got lost a bunch of times, and now I've done this campaign so many times. I love Killzone Shadowfall. It's my favorite game. I love the campaign. I went through the campaign. I did it on easy, hard, and normal. I got all the collectibles, and I've got the Like a Boss trophy for finishing it on elite mode. And now I'm going to do it again for this YouTube series. If they would have had the share factory before, I would have already been done with this. So again, you saw those blue arrows. They're going to tell you where to go. And I need to get in there and hit that little button there. And the video is going to come to an end here in a couple seconds. And it's going to pick up right here as soon as Chapter 3, Part 2 is going to start right here. So make sure you guys check out that video also. And thanks.